Okay, so hi, my name is Janae. I'm going to be completing your intake today. I'm going to be working with you to gather some information about you. I'm also going to be asking you a variety of questions. If any of these questions make you feel uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to say pass and move on from it. Also, if you have any further questions or need any further explaining of the questions, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
And then before we kind of get started, I do want to go over confidentiality. Anything you say will stay in here unless you give me permission to share it. The only time I do have to break this confidentiality is if you make threats to harm yourself or someone else. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start off with something simple. Let's just start with your name, please.
It's Heather,
Okay, Heather. What is your birthday?
9/29/96.
Okay. And do you know what today is?
Mm, Thursday.
Yes. Do you know like the
I'm trying to
date?
think of the date. I think it's October 13th, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right. Do you know the year?
Yeah, it's 2022.
Okay, just making sure. Um, and then it says here that you were referred by the mental health access point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that looks like it was for depression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was just making sure. So tell me a little bit about what brings you in today.
Well, I've just kind of been feeling off lately, I guess. I don't know, like I just don't really have any energy to do anything. Or I don't know. It's like not so much energy as it is like motivation. Like I just lay around and I just have like no interest in doing anything. And that's not really normal for me most of the time. I mean, I'm not feeling like this. I like go shopping, I hang out with friends, and I just haven't felt like doing that.
Okay, how long would you say you've been feeling this way?
Probably about 8 months now.
Okay. Does it seem like it's gotten worse or
It's definitely worse than when it first started. It's just kind of like gradually led up to this, but I mean, for probably like the last 3 months, it's been at its worst.
okay? And then do you think like would you say that you're having these feelings like every day or do they seem to like come and go?
No, it's pretty much every day for the most part. I mean, sometimes it's hard to like even get out of bed. Um, and then I mean, there's other days where I feel like I can't even move. Like I don't even want to get up and go to the bathroom or make food. I don't want to answer the phone when people call to try to check on me because my friends and family, they're kind of concerned because my behavior is different than what they're used to. So, they call and try to come over, and I just don't feel like talking. It's like probably 4 to 5 days out of the week, it's this bad.
Okay. Would you say that how would you say that your overall mood has been? Like have you been more irritable or more like emotional?
No, just kind of just flat, I guess. Just I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just like almost like I don't feel anything at all. I mean, I sort of sad, but I don't know, it's just nothing. I just kind of feel nothing, kind of numb.
Okay. Okay. Have you been feeling anxious or anything like that?
Um, Not really so much anxious, no.
Okay. Have you been hearing any voices or like seeing anything that no one else is?
Not that I know of, which I mean, I don't have anybody around most of the time to tell me if I'm seeing something I shouldn't be, but no, I don't think so.
Okay. Have you ever thought of harming yourself or anyone else?
No, I mean, sometimes I think maybe that I would be better off gone, but then I know like this is just something I'm going through, and I think that there can be help for whatever I'm going through right now. I haven't always felt this way, so maybe I won't always feel this way going forward. So I would never actually harm myself. But I mean, there are times where I'm like, I just wish this would go away. I wish I could just end this feeling that I'm having.
Okay. What about any thoughts about harming others?
No, I definitely wouldn't hurt anyone else.
Okay. Have you ever been to a therapist or seen a psychiatrist?
Um, I did maybe like back in high school. Um, but it hasn't been, that's been like, I was like 14 maybe whenever I seen them. I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I wasn't really interested in that when I was a teenager.
Okay. Do you remember how long you may have seen them?
Um, Maybe like 2 years, I think about that. Oh, I do remember why I had to start seeing this therapist. So yeah, I did try to harm myself in high school.
Okay. Was it just that one time or?
Yeah, it was. It was just the one time. So like I got into it with some girls that I was going to school with, and I got into a medicine cabinet and took some pills that weren't mine.
Okay.
They were like blood pressure pills or something, and so that's why I had to start seeing the therapist.
Okay. Do you currently have any suicidal ideations or anything like that?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. How do you think that you've been coping since?
Really, I guess I'm just kind of taking it day by day. I mean, um, I haven't really been coping at all, really. I mean, it's just been, I don't know. I just wake up every day and just try to get through the day and hope that tomorrow I might wake up and feel different.
Okay. Do you currently take any medication?
No, whenever I was growing up, my parents were kind of against medicine. They always tried to tell me that, medicine can be addicting and it can just make problems worse. And there's always all of these side effects, and you might take a medication to fix one thing and then end up with another problem. So I've kind of always been against that because my parents has kind of taught me that. So no, I don't really take anything.
Okay. Have you ever been like inpatient or hospitalized for your mental health?
Um, no, just the one time. Whenever you mean like when I was in high school or
Even since then, just like since
yeah,
then.
just the one time. Like what led me to here, I guess, therapy was pretty useful. And so that's kind of why I'm here. I want to continue that. I think it will help me get over the symptoms that I'm having.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health disorders?
Um, I'm not sure.
Okay. What about in your family? Has anyone in your family been diagnosed with any mental health disorders?
Yeah, I believe my mom's been diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
Okay.
I think she I think she also received therapy for that. She didn't take medicine, or at least she didn't tell me that she did, but I remember her having to see a therapist a lot, like whenever I was younger. Um, but that's really about it. I don't think my dad has any.
Okay. Has anyone in your family ever used drugs or alcohol?
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, he's a pretty heavy drinker. My dad also drank some, but not quite as much as my brother. My dad drinks like more on a social occasion, I guess. Like he'll have like these game nights with his friends, and like he'll drink beer or whatever with them. But as far as like drinking heavy, not so much. But my brother was a really bad drinker. Like he'll drink like a fifth of whiskey in a night. It's terrible. He's been to rehab before multiple
Okay.
times, and it's not really helped very much. So it's kind of an issue.
Okay. Have you ever used any drugs or alcohol?
No, I've never really been interested in that kind of thing. I mean, I've watched my brother go through what he has with his alcohol addiction, and so that's kind of made me like totally against that.
Okay. What about tobacco use?
So yeah, I do smoke. Unfortunately, I kind of wish that I didn't, but yeah, it's something I started when I was like probably 17 or 18. And when I initially started smoking, I kind of thought that, well, I can just stop doing this at any time. I'm just doing it because my friends are doing it. And yeah, that wasn't so much the case. But I have tried to cut back on smoking. I know that it's really bad for me.
Okay, so how much would you say you're smoking in a day?
I probably smoke like 3 to 4 cigarettes a day, which is a lot better than before because I used to smoke like a whole pack a day. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's some progress. That's definitely some progress. Let's see. Aside from your brother, I know you mentioned, did you go up with anyone else? Any other siblings or?
Um, no, just my brother, my mom, and my dad. We're all pretty super close. I don't get to see them as much as I want to. We used to talk all the time, but ever since I've been kind of feeling like this, I don't really want to talk to them much. I don't answer the phone. Kind of makes me feel a little bit guilty because I'm sure they feel like I'm just avoiding them or shutting them out, which it's not my intentions, but I just really don't feel like talking.
Yeah, I'm
And I
sure.
don't know that they really understand what I'm going through with that.
Yeah, I'm
I know
sure
my
that
mom's
must be
super
hard.
worried about me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that has to be hard. Um, have you ever been married before?
Um, no, maybe one day, but not currently.
Okay. What about any children?
Yeah, I have one kid, a little boy named Carter, and he's probably the only thing that's keeping me going at this point.
Okay. How do you think this has been affecting Carter?
Well, probably pretty bad. Um, I mean, he hasn't really showed a whole lot of signs of like him being affected, but I know that it has to affect him because I mean, I used to be a much better mom than I am now, and I feel really crappy about it whenever I have to talk about it because like I used to play with him a lot. We used to go to the park, we used to do like arts and crafts projects and stuff, and now I don't know, I feel like a bad mom, and I'm sure he's affected, but I don't know, he's a tough little boy, and my mom does help some with him. Like she'll take him with her and try to like do things with him so he's not just stuck here in the house with me all the time. And he also goes to daycare. So um, I don't know. I feel like that's helpful too because it's probably not healthy for him to just be here with me whenever I'm going through my depressive episodes. So I mean, he's still getting that outside interaction, which is definitely important. But I do want to be better for him because I know that it's not healthy.
Okay. What would you say you like to do for fun or in your spare time?
Well, me and Carter definitely, like I said, we like to go to the park. Um, we both really like doing crafting projects and stuff. Like last year, we built a sandbox, which was really cool. And so we used to play in the sandbox all the time. Um, he also really likes basketball. So whenever I'm feeling good, we'll go to the park and they have a basketball court there. And so we'll play. We really like to go out to the movies and go out to eat. I mean, everything used to be so good, and now it's like my entire world's just been turned upside down. I don't even know like who I am anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure that must be frustrating. Um,
Yeah.
so what about work or school? Are you currently employed?
Well, I did have a job. I graduated high school and I started working at a daycare. And then once COVID started, I had to stop working and I just haven't been back since. I've just been using my savings money to like pay bills, and my parents help out some with like buying things that I need for Carter. And sometimes they help with like the electric bill if it's higher than normal. And they help with food and stuff.
How does that make you feel like not being back to work in so long?
Well, first of all, I feel kind of crappy that my parents are having to like use their money to help pay for what I can't. It's kind of got me feeling a little useless and once again a bad mom because I can't provide for my kid. Um, I think in a way, not having a job is kind of like enabling me to continue to feel this way because like it's just like if I'm not working, then I don't really have a specific reason to like get up in the morning and get ready and do those things. So I don't know. I'm hoping to get back to that someday because when I was working and I was feeling better, I mean, I was a pretty good employee. I was always on time to work. I didn't call in much, unless it was like Carter was sick or he had an appointment or something. I mean, I was generally a good employee. So I'm hoping that maybe one day I can get back to work and things can kind of go back to normal.
Okay. What do you think you would like to do? I mean, if you do go back to work?
Well, I really did enjoy working um, at the daycare, but I think maybe I would try something else. I think I'm like naturally a caregiver by heart. I've always thought that that's what I wanted to do, even when I was younger. Um, I always liked the idea of like taking care of someone. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I've kind of always had a dream of like going into nursing. So maybe if I can feel better and get my life back together, maybe I would go to school and try to be a nurse.
Okay. Is there a history of military service?
My dad was in the army, but I have never been, no.
Okay. Any legal trouble?
No, I've never been arrested or anything like that. I almost did this one time when I was in high school. Me and a couple of friends decided to go swimming in this pond in the park. And well, apparently we weren't supposed to be swimming there. So the police came and the police gave me a ride back home. And my mom was livid. She freaked out thinking I done did something real crazy. I mean, it was literally just a pond, but you know, me getting out of a police car at like midnight was not okay. But thankfully, no, I've never had any legal trouble.
Okay, well, that's good. Is there any history of any sexual abuse?
So, um, I heard that from a distant relative, my brother might have been, but nothing was ever confirmed. I've never been that I know of. I mean, I have no like memory of it, but apparently maybe my brother was. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is there anything medical that we should know about?
Mm, like, what do you mean?
Like such as injuries or any medical conditions you may have?
I have asthma that I use an inhaler for, but it's not really bad. I mean, I have to use my inhaler maybe like twice a year.
Okay. Any hospitalizations?
No, just whenever I had Carter, I had to be hospitalized for that, obviously, but no, I've never had to be hospitalized for like any injury or surgery or anything like that.
Okay. Any history of a head injury?
Mm, no, nothing major, no.
Okay. And then what about any allergies?
Um, No, I don't think so. One time I thought that I was allergic to grapes because I ate grapes one time and got really sick. And even my mom took me to the hospital. Like, I still don't really know what caused it, but they said I was not allergic to the grapes, but I had like this really bad reaction. But it hasn't happened since. So I'm not sure. I definitely do kind of try to avoid grapes now, just in case, because that was kind of scary. But no, I've ate grapes since then and I haven't had any major reactions. So I don't know. It was weird.
Okay. Is there any current medication use? I mean, I know you said you're not super into taking medication, but is there anything like over the counter you're currently taking?
So like if I have a really, really bad headache, I'll take an ibuprofen, or I'll take like Zyrtec or something if my allergies are acting up. But other than that, not really. I do have birth control, um, but it's like an IUD, so it's not something that I have to take on a daily basis, but it's inserted into my uterus.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't really think about it or have to do anything with it. It just kind of hangs out in there.
Okay. Is there anything else you think that I should know?
Um, Trying to think of something. Hmm.
or even
Um,
any questions you have for me.
yeah, I guess I do have a couple of questions. So, are you going to be the person that I'm going to be seeing?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay. So, I mean, what do you think's wrong with me?
Well, what it sounds like, based off the symptoms you kind of described, it sounds like you may be major depressive. We'll kind of continue looking out for any other symptoms you may be experiencing throughout treatment. I would recommend moving forward that we meet once a week, um, maybe on Thursdays, if that works for you.
Yeah, I think Thursdays would be fine. That works for me pretty well, I guess. I don't have a job, so it's not like I have any obligation to be anywhere.
Okay, is there any particular time that works best? Maybe morning, afternoon?
Um, maybe we should do morning. That would require me to at least one day a week get up out of the bed and make myself get dressed. So, yeah, morning.
Okay, would you say like 10 a.m.? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll give me enough time to get Carter up and like off to school and everything. So, yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, so we'll start there. Next week, we'll kind of go over what your treatment will look like, and kind of develop a treatment plan, and some goals for you. And then we'll get started then. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, and so you said that we would continue to meet like once a week, right?
Yes, yeah, it'll be once a week. So it'll be once a week, every Thursday at 10 a.m.
Okay, and how long do you think that I will need therapy for? I mean, generally people that have the same issue as me, like, is this something that they can like do in 6 months and start feeling better and not need it anymore? Or is this like gonna be a lifelong thing for me?
It's really just dependent on the person. Um, it kind of can come and go. Typically, sessions are 12 to 15 weeks. That obviously can be adjusted depending on where you're at and what progress you made. And if you feel like you need more, if you feel like maybe I need a little less, it's really just dependent on the person. That's kind of what we get to talk about next week in our care, and kind of come up with a plan and develop some goals. And then as we meet those goals, we'll kind of look at the time frame of what to expect.
Okay. And just one more thing before you go.
Mhm.
So I know we talked about me not really wanting to do medication, but at this point, I'm pretty desperate to get my life back. And so if you think that medication might be beneficial to me to try to help me feel better, I'm not completely opposed to it. But is medication something that you do or that you have available at your facility?
Yeah, it's definitely something we have available at our facility. And something we can kind of talk about more if we think that it would be a good idea for you, if you felt comfortable. I know that's probably something you would kind of have to work up to. Um, I am happy that you're open to it. Um, I think that it could be useful in your case, especially since you've been having these symptoms for such an extended period of time. But that's something, yeah, we can discuss moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just kind of desperate at this point. I mean, if I don't know, I just can't imagine any side effects that I might have that's worse than what I'm currently doing. Like, I would rather have a backache than to just feel like this all the time? I mean, I'm sure the depression medicine wouldn't give me a backache, but just kind of an example. Like,
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's just terrible. So I don't know. That's something I'll have to talk to my parents about too, because I know like if they find out that I'm taking medication, they're gonna give me this whole speech about, you know, why I shouldn't take it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a discussion that I'll have with them and then we can talk about that more whenever we meet next week. Can I
Okay.
bring them with me to the session or like should we wait for that?
Um, I would like to wait for that just so we can come up with like your goals and everything first. And then maybe the following session we could discuss having your parents potentially come and discuss like your treatment and our recommendations moving forward. But I do think it would be a good idea just for next week for us, for at least just to be us. And then we can explore the possibility of having your parents come in and discuss potential medications and like the side effects, and if really you're comfortable with it, because at this point you are an adult, so it's going to be your choice. And I understand you obviously wanted to get some insight and some understanding from your parents. So I totally get that. But I would like to just meet just one-on-one first and then kind of go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I appreciate you being so nice. I mean, I already feel a little bit better about it. I kind of feel like I have a plan and a direction to move towards now. So thank you for being nice and listening to me.
No problem at all. And then I'll see you next week on Thursday, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.